When Oppo first announced the R17 Pro handset in October, we got to try out an early production unit briefly and came away fairly impressed. Now that it's officially launched and we've had more time with the review unit, here's our hands-on impression of Oppo's latest flagship smartphone. Where flagship phones are concerned, the R17 Pro has all the trademarks of a premium phone design: Gorilla Glass display on the front and a smooth, reflective glass back with curved edges. It offers a good heft and is slim, yet comfortable to hold. The Emerald unit we reviewed has a nice unique hue that will appeal to both sexes, though we suspect the Radiant Mist version with matte finish will attract those who want something more flashy. You will also notice the R17 Pro sports the same water drop or teardrop notch design seen on the OnePlus 6T and Huawei Mate 20. It is probably the latest intrusive of notches and a popular choice among many of the phone makers today. And built right into the 6.4-inch AMOLED display is an underscreen fingerprint sensor for unlocking the phone. There is also a face unlock feature, and it's pretty fast. What we like most about the R17 Pro is the fast charging feature it calls a SuperVOOC. We've tried it earlier on the Find X Lamborghini edition, and it is fast. It can charge the 3700 mAh battery from 0 to 40% in just 10 minutes. A full charge will only take half an hour. There is no wireless charging on the R17 Pro, even though it has a glass back, but the SuperVOOC fast charging feature probably more than makes up for it. On paper, the Snapdragon 710 chip sits between the mid-range 600 and flagship 800 series. In actual day-to-day usage, you can hardly feel any difference in performance. Combined with 8GB of RAM and 128GB storage, the R17 Pro feels snappy and seems to multitask well between apps. Games run very smoothly as well. While 128GB is probably sufficient for most users, those looking for more storage can add a micro SD card into the expansion slot. We didn't have any problems getting through a day of usage with the onboard 3700 mAh battery. The Oppo R17 Pro runs on ColorOS 5.2, which is quite similar to the R15 Pro and Find X. If you prefer the stock Android experience, you might find this OS a little limiting. Otherwise, Oppo's ColorOS is pretty straightforward to use. It is a tad disappointing, though, that it still runs on Android 8.1 when Android 9.0 is already available. The standout feature of the R17 Pro are the onboard cameras. It comes with 3 cameras on the back, a 12-megapixel wide-angle, 20-megapixel telephoto, and a TOF 3D camera, which we will touch on a little bit later. There is also one 25-megapixel selfie camera in the front. For most of the shots using the rear cameras, the images are sharp, filled with rich details and pleasing colors. The portrait mode produces decent pictures, separating the subject cleanly from the background, though sharpness does take a hit. Where the camera delivers and shines is in its much-touted smart aperture camera. There is a noticeable increase in the quality of shadow details, while highlights are better controlled. Overall, images shot at night are pretty impressive, though it pales slightly in comparison to the Pixel 3's night sight. We also encountered times when the night mode on the R17 Pro doesn't activate while shooting in low light. Hopefully, a software update in the future will solve this problem. Now, let's talk about the TOF camera, or time of flight camera. It is a 3D sensing camera that captures 3D depth information from the scene and can be used for a variety of things like AR, animation, or 3D printing. Sadly, the application using the camera have yet to be finalized, so while we were unable to try out any application that can make use of the TOF camera, we did get a glimpse of it during an earlier session, and it looks pretty cool. Honestly, we can't wait to see what it can do. The 25-megapixel front-facing camera does its job for selfies, but like most smartphones, images tend to be slightly overprocessed when used with the AI beauty modes. The Oppo R17 Pro is a good smartphone. It's got great cameras, a sleek design, and a SuperVOOC fast charging system that will outcharge most other smartphones out there. At $999 Sing dollars, it is slightly more than what we're willing to pay for a smartphone without wireless charging, waterproofing, or a larger battery. A Snapdragon 845 chip would also have been preferred given it's touted as a flagship model. Until Oppo shows us what the TOF 3D camera can do, the R17 Pro remains a good but not great smartphone in our books.